Hey everyone, it's Mario Vegas and welcome back to Tank Zone. It was quite a time since last time we met, but continuing our journey in Armored Warfare world, this time we will take a look and we will talk about the smallest vehicle in this game, and it is Wiesel 1 TOW Tier 5 German tank destroyer. Well, let me remind you that in this review we will compare the vehicle to its counterparts, then we will find out its pros and cons, and then we will determine the most suitable retrofits and crew skills for it. And most important, we will pick them and add them to our vehicle as we go, giving you a better perspective and opportunity to see and probably even discuss in the comments how this vehicle with its stock stats gradually becomes for a competitive and battle-ready combat machine. And we will talk about tactics a little bit as well on how to use it during the match. So, and now let's go. The Wiesel 1 TOW is a Tier 5 progression tank destroyer. You can find it on the Sophie's Tech Tree. And so let's start with the sustained damage. And sustained damage is quite average, as you can see. It is 3,845 per minute, and not bad penetration though, 800 millimeters with a damage 570. So if we compare all tier 4 and 5 and 6 tank destroyers, then we will stand in a top 3 by these parameters. However, we cannot say the same about DPM. As we see, it's only 3,845, as we already saw that, which is lowest between all compared tank destroyers in mentioned tiers. And this is mainly because longer load time and single missile in the launcher tube. Therefore, I very strongly suggest pick gun breach as a fast retrofit to at least somehow decrease that reload time. So let's do that. Let's pick the gun breach. Here we are. Gun breach. Let's take gun breach. And here you go, 4,320 DPM per minute, DPM damage per minute, and the reload time decreases to 7.92 seconds, which is better than before. So yeah, this is the first retrofit I suggest to pick for this little baby, which is actually a cool machine, but it should be a little bit adjusted to gain some reasonable game experience and results. So let's jump to the next section, which is defense. Well, zero armor, absolutely zero armor. You can see 5 millimeters. It's paper armor. Therefore, good concealment plus detection and return fire avoidance should become game plan and routine if we wish to achieve satisfactory results. Otherwise, we are very lightly, if not zero armed target, which is very easily destroyable. However, Wiesel 1 TOW has some advantages which can weigh out its paper armor, and we will talk about them in next sections. So let's go to the section which is mobility, and we can see it's great top speed, 80 kilometers per hour, and good acceleration with the 2.86 seconds acceleration to 32 kilometers per hour, which is great, which is very good, and the top speed is as well very good, if I'm saying great. Excellent hull traverse, 59.55 degrees per second. And at this point, let's pick off-road driving skill for driver, which is 20% acceleration time increasement on off-road surfaces. So let's do that. Let's go to driver and let's pick off-road driving, which is actually, as we talked in previous and other episodes about other vehicles, it is classic for drive, because 90% or even more time we're driving off-road. So off-road driving is very, very important for basically any vehicle. And let's pick another driver skill, which is spin to win. Let's see what this skill will do. Spin to win. Spin to win skill will give you a 5% traverse speed improvement. And now we have, take a look, how traverse increased to the 62.42 degrees per second. So, because maneuverability and constant relocation is another tactical wild card that Wiesel can exploit, and definitely it should not be overlooked. So, as I said, it's zero defensive armor, zero armor. Can be weighed out with a one thing is mobility and speed and traverse speed and everything. You getting more mobility, you getting more opportunity to run away. So next tab is utility. Very good camo. Take a look, 44% from every side. Yeah, from every side, front, side, and rear. I use Sabrina on this vehicle. Sabrina gives as well camo boost, but even without Sabrina, this vehicle has very good camo factor, and vision range is not at top. That is very important to notice. Do not fool yourself and go for a typical scouting mission. Don't do that. Typical scouting missions will not work with Wiesel, but as it is good and good enough to outbeat pretty much any tank, then active type scouting with assault or creeping through the dense vegetation and go and doing some tank scouting, not other AFV scouting or other vehicles, but only sticking to the tanks and scouting them is very much possible. Yes, very much possible with Wiesel. But there, I want to repeat myself and be very, very clear. Avoid enemy scout tracks and tracks like BMPs and BMDs, because you cannot compete with them in vision range with the Wiesel. So yeah, be aware of them. So, but going for tanks and scout them, and you can do that with a Wiesel. So, and at this point, I would like to suggest install augmented optics retrofit to increase Wiesel's spotting capability. So let's pick that retrofit. Here it is, augmented optics, and let's see, bam, it increased to 433.8 meters vision range while moving and while standing as well, of course. Which is much better than its stock and its stock stats is 398. Let's go back and let's install it again to get 433 meters vision range. So this 433 meters vision range, as you can see, it's basically only matches, and sometimes even is lower than ordinary just main battle tank vision range. That's why you're going, if you go scouting, you go only for main battle tanks, and keep your vehicle preferably concealed by vegetation. So let's go into the targeting and let's see what wonderful things, or maybe not so wonderful things, is hidden here. Now, -10 degrees depression and 15 degrees elevation is more than enough for a missile armed vehicle, because obviously you aiming to target uh, targets which are much farther away, rather than tanks do in a classic game tank combat. Yeah, excellent turret traverse speed, 62.1 degrees per second, which is really excellent, and it helps with active gameplay. But here is one but, and it is maximum turret rotation. Maximum turret rotation, as you can see, is 220 degrees. It is something to bear in mind. It is not obstacle, but it is something to bear in mind, especially if you been caught in a middle of intense dynamic situation, and you should switch from targeting enemy straight in front of you, say to the enemy which is on your 6. To do that effectively without losing a shot, you must turn your vehicle in an opposite direction to the enemy. So otherwise your missile will go just an opposite direction. It is something easy to forget in a haste of battle, so we must keep that in mind. So it is not obstacle, but it is thing to keep in mind. And as a last retrofit, I would like to suggest install an advanced muzzle reference system to decrease your aim cycle size. So, and let's pick that. There it is. Okay. Our vehicle is fully retrofitted. It is gun breech, augmented optics, and AMRS, advanced muzzle reference system. So let's do a quick Wiesel 1.0 pros and cons recap before we jump into the gameplay, into the tactics. So pros, we found out that Wiesel 1.0 has great camo, small silhouette, and maneuverability, which should be exploited and can be exploited as well doing only tank scouting and other of course missions in the game. And we have cons as well on this vehicle, as on any vehicle, of course. This vehicle has only one single missile with longer reload time and only missile ammo. That basically, when you shoot out, when you launch your missile, you have no secondary weapon to protect yourself or to engage someone. So it is very important to bear in mind and remember playing with the Wiesel. So overall, Wiesel 1.0 is quite alright ambush hunter, and to somehow compensate and make use, if I can say so, of that long reload time, that time can be used to relocate your vehicle, to pop out from a different concealed position and strike from there. Basically, I personally find it more rewarding to play aggressively from medium ranges rather than classically sitting in tank destroyer spots and try to hit targets from long distances. And one reason for that is that if you miss your target, then you must wait that long reload time. Let's take a look at that long reload time is 9 seconds. It is not huge, but it is long enough before you can even try, not even mentioning that fact that an experienced opponent will try to avoid appearing in the same spot again. 9 seconds before you can try target enemy again. So, but if you go for medium range or fire support, you can even try to spot tanks for your team therefore earning spotting and damage from spotting commendations as well. And finally, if spotted, Wiesel is small vehicle with small silhouette, and speed comes very useful. Let's remember its top speed was 80 kilometers per hour with acceleration 2.86 seconds. So therefore hit and run tactics can be performed quite well. That's it for today. Thank you for watching and following Tank Zone. Have a wonderful day, and as always, see you in the next episode.